Hello everyone, Frontal here, and today we'll be playing the Spirit. My 4 perks are Hex Retribution, Hex Ruin, Hex Hunter Ground, and Hex Devour Hope. This is not my normal build, but one of my friends asked me to do a 5 perk totem challenge, and I just couldn't say no. Lucky for us, we found Claudette very fast. I made sure to listen before I picked up Claudette, because I noticed before the beginning of the match, there were 2 survivors with flashlights. And to my luck, Nancy was hiding behind the barrels. Having 2 survivors down in the beginning of the match really sets the team back. No matter how well survivors are, they're going to definitely have to work to catch up to me now. Right before hooking Claudette, I noticed that the gen upstairs is being worked on. After hooking Nancy, I decided to go far away from both these hooks. I don't want to pressure the gen at all. The reason why is because after downing 2 survivors, I can potentially get 2 Devour Hope stacks. Like I said, I don't normally play with this build, so I totally forgot I had Hex Ruin and tried to kick the gen. But we all make mistakes. Right before every match, always remember what perks you're using. Sometimes, forgetting a perk that you have can cost you the game. Lucky for us, we get our second Devour Hope stack, and none of the totems have been broken yet. Some people might be wondering why I didn't go for the 2 injured survivors down below. The reason is I play a survivor as well, and it sucks being hit right after you got unhooked. Even though there's no killer rule not to go for the people unhooked, I still know how much it sucks, and I kind of always want to be fair because I still have 5 totems up and only 1 gen completed. The crown is mine. Getting my 3rd Devour Hope stack right before any totems have been cleansed really puts me in a good position. They still have to find the 1 Devour Hope totem out of the 5, and that's going to be very hard for them to do. I decided not to hit Claudette in the beginning, even though I swing right now, just because I had to think for a second, do I really want to reveal my Devour Hope? Survivors don't know you have Devour Hope until you hit a survivor after getting 3 stacks. You always want your first Devour Hope stack on an uninjured survivor. The reason is, before they know, you can actually get a lot more pressure on an uninjured survivor rather than hurting an injured survivor with Devour Hope. Lucky for us, they actually found the first totem, and it happened to be Hunter Grounds. The reason I was able to see all the survivors' auras is because of the perk on the right called Hex Retribution. Hex Retribution lets me see all the survivors' auras if any one survivor cleans a dull or lit totem. Looks like we got our first DC. Hex Hunter Ground and Hex Retribution is actually a really good combination. The reason why is right when they pop Hunter Ground, you're able to see all the survivors' auras. And because you only have 60 seconds when a Hunter Ground is popped, you want to use your time wisely. Because you know where all the survivors are for 10 seconds, you're able to go back to back and back to each survivor. What do y'all think? Was that the Hunter Ground or the Devour Hope? Does it really matter? One of my top advice as killer is never to respect the pallet. I know I did that in this instance, but that's only because I was winning the game. The reason is once the survivor knows you are respecting a pallet, they're going to abuse it, and they're going to take advantage of you. It's a lot better to take the pallet stun than rather waiting and respecting the pallet. The one mistake the survivors made here is that they actually stayed on the gen when the Devour Hope is in play. Right when you know Devour Hope is on, you have to stop everything you're doing. Don't heal, don't do gens, just go find the Devour Hope totem. If you start doing gens, you're wasting time, and if you're healing, you're wasting more time, because really, the killer can one down you, and there's really no point in healing because you need to save that time to go find the totem. The only reason I went to the other side of this truck was just because I knew if I got too close to the hook, I wasn't going to get my last Devour Hope stack. And luckily, I was right. Even though I have 5 Devour Hope stacks, I try my best not to Mori. If I Mori, I waste blood points that I could get with just hooking. But because my friend requested this build, this Mori goes out to you, T-Dog. Like I said before, I had never used Devour Hope from the Moris, only if I'm just wanting to have fun. The reason is because I don't get as many blood points by Moring them as I do with hooking. And I really only use Devour Hope just for the insta-down. I actually don't mind this build just because of the fact that Haunted Ground and Ruin are a great combination. Right when a survivor sees that Ruin is in play, they immediately try to go for any lit totem. And 2 out of 3 times, they will get the Haunted Ground.